This is a celebration of the Vagabond Players. And Rob Voigt started in 1937 in New York as a group of, started his group of players that were just doing play readings. They didn't have a theater, they didn't have a place that was their own. And so they would go from place to place and do readings of plays, put on plays when they had a chance to, but not in a theater that was their own. And in his traveling in between those things, he did some private teaching. He happened to find himself in Florida, where he heard about Western North Carolina as a place to come, where a lot of people came and spent their summers back in the days, I guess, when air conditioning wasn't so pervasive. So he came here and found a whole bunch of people who were here from wealthy southern towns for the summer, and who really appreciated the idea of theater as an entertainment for them. He started using the Vagabond Players in a theater that they could call their own for at least a summer. It was usually 10 or 12 weeks. He started at Highland Lake Inn, and then he went to Lake Summit, and finally settled in at Flat Rock Playhouse on the Flat Rock. And in all of these places, the Vagabonds had already been a group of people that had a sense of mission and a sense of heart and tenacity and vision, I think. And Rob Voigt was really a person who had a vision for what he ultimately wanted a theater to be. And it was more like an ensemble company. That was the thing about the Vagabond Players that was always true. There were people who weren't just stars. There were people who all pitched in, all worked, all gave their all to making the group important, the group successful, and the Playhouse as an ensemble grew that way also. So that was the beginning of the idea of celebrating the 80 years of the Vagabond Players, and the mission here was to kind of show what it started out as in terms of the theaters that housed it, like Summit Playhouse, for example, and what our theater was and what it's become. And the way that we produce things, sometimes you bring things back, sometimes there are iconic moments in the theater. Sometimes in the old days there was no time to do a rendering, for example, of what a set was going to look like, and now I do renderings or models of what scenery is going to look like. And our whole mission has stayed the same, to be an ensemble company, but we have more time and we have more training and we have more in-depth approach to putting on the show, since we no longer do a play a week, which is what they did a long time ago. Now we do plays in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, sometimes even 6 weeks. Very seldom do we do anything that's even just 2 weeks, though sometimes we do. Even children's shows turn out to be longer than a week.